Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Today we are looking at something truly profound. We're decoding the natal chart, but we're exploring it not just as some tool for, predicting the weather of our lives. We're looking at it as the ultimate architectural blueprint of the soul itself.
It's a question humanity has asked literally since we first looked up at the night sky. Are we simply random collections of stardust just drifting through a chaotic universe, or is there a highly structured, celestial design to our lives? Today, we're exploring that second perspective, using the foundational principles of an ancient spiritual science.
Now, you might be wondering how this differs from what you already know. If your background is primarily in Western astrology, you're probably used to a heavy focus on psychology and personality traits. But the source material we're examining today treats astrology from the Vedic, or Hindu, perspective. And this is entirely different. It's not a simple personality quiz. Vedic astrology focuses on karma, spiritual enlightenment, and mapping the soul's ultimate purpose across multiple lifetimes.
Okay, let's dive into this. To understand how this incredibly complex system works, we're going to build it piece by piece. We'll start with the soul's cosmic blueprint, then move to the bhavas, or fields of experience. After that, we'll look at the rashis, which are the zones of influence, followed by the grahas, the celestial force centers, and finally, we'll put it all together to map destiny itself.
All right, starting off with part 1, the soul's cosmic blueprint, also known as the theater of life.
So what actually is a natal chart? Well, at its core, it maps exactly 360 degrees of the sky at the precise moment you are born. The universe essentially takes a massive snapshot, locking in the specific cosmic energy radiating at that exact time and geographic location. That snapshot, it becomes the personalized stage upon which your soul's journey is going to unfold.
Moving right along to section 2, bhavas, or fields of experience. This is all about setting the stage. Because, before any action can happen in our theater, we need to actually set the stage. And these stage settings are called bhavas, which is the Sanskrit term for astrological houses. This is a 12-fold division of the celestial horizon. It's absolutely crucial to understand that these aren't just abstract concepts. They represent the literal environments, the arenas, and the specific fields of human experience that the soul absolutely must confront and learn from in this particular incarnation.
Let's break down the 4 foundational pillars of this system. They're known as the cardinal houses, or kendras, and they are the core structural anchors. The first house is the self. That's the initial spark of potential and the physical body. Directly across from it is the 7th house, the other, meaning your partnerships and the external fields of experience you engage with. Then you have the 4th house, representing your inner peace, your home, and your roots, which stands in direct contrast to the 10th house. That one represents your public action, your profession, and the zenith of your current karma. Together, these 4 make up the foundational cross of human existence.
Which brings us to section 3, Rashis, the zones of influence. This is where we start coloring the energy.
Now, what's really interesting about this next concept is how it literally colors our stage. You probably know these as the signs of the zodiac, but in Vedic astrology, they're called rashis. Think of them as the energetic lighting of our stage. They are these radiating zones of cosmic influence that color the nature of whatever house they sit in and whatever planet happens to pass through them. They completely determine the underlying mood, shifting the energy from active to passive, or from harmonious to totally chaotic.
To see how dramatically this lighting changes the scene, let's just compare 2 rashis. On one side, we have Aries, which is driven by rajas, or dynamic activity. It's fiery. It represents unborn potential bursting into a creative urge. But contrast that with Scorpio, which is driven by tamas, or hidden inertia. Scorpio represents a deep, hidden cavity, a secretive and highly mysterious occult nature. You can easily see how placing a specific area of your life, let's say your career, into the active fire of Aries is going to play out completely differently than if it were submerged in the deep, secretive waters of Scorpio, which, let's be honest, always brings a bit of intense drama to whatever house it touches for sure.
All right, section 4, grahas, the celestial force centers. The actors enter.
So, we have our stage and we have our lighting. Now, the actors enter the scene. These actors are the grahas, or the planets. And the absolutely crucial point here is that Vedic astrology does not view planets as just inert rocks floating around in space. No way. They are viewed as living, spiritual force centers. They actively move through the signs and houses to trigger your karma and actively shape your destiny.
Let's meet these cosmic actors and their profound spiritual roles. First up, the luminaries. The sun represents the soul itself, while the moon is the mind and the cosmic mother, filtering exactly how we perceive the world.
Then we have Mercury, acting as the celestial bridge of intellect and communication. Venus brings cosmic passion, harmony, and the urge to unite. Mars is the generative fire, just the sheer force of action. Jupiter is the great teacher, granting limitless expansion and spiritual benediction. And finally, Saturn, the strict taskmaster, representing the journey's end, setting the boundaries and serving up the deepest karmic lessons that, let's face it, we usually try to avoid.
And that leads us to our final section, Section 5, Mapping Your Destiny, the Dance of Karma and Free Will.
We've defined the houses, the signs, and the planets. Now we get to assemble them to answer the ultimate question of human destiny. Where does our past karma end and our free will begin? And this brilliantly illustrates how it all comes together. In our source material, Rule 5 points us directly to the horizon line of the chart. That's literally the line separating the sky above the Earth from the sky hidden below it at your exact time of birth. Your soul's trajectory is revealed by where the majority of your planets are concentrated. So if your planets are mostly hidden below the horizon, in houses 1 through 6, the text refers to you as a fruit-gathering soul, meaning you're here largely to endure and harvest past, unchangeable karma. Your life kind of happens to you. But if your planets are concentrated above the horizon, in houses 7 through 12, you are an action-oriented individual. You have immense freedom to exercise free will, to break old patterns, and to actively generate completely fresh new karma. There's this fantastic quote from Bipin Bihari that summarizes this staggering difference beautifully. He says, "Planets in the involutionary portion relate primarily to the present life. Planets in the evolutionary hemisphere create forces which have far-reaching karmic consequences." To translate that into simpler terms, the involutionary portion, which is the bottom half of the chart, relates strictly to enduring this present life, while the evolutionary hemisphere, the top half, gives us the power to create new, far-reaching karmic consequences. This isn't just about what job you're going to get, it's about whether you are simply living out an old script or actively forging an entirely new cosmic path for your soul's future.
So what does this all mean? We leave you with this final, really profound thought. If the natal chart is truly a cosmic blueprint, if the bhavas set your stage, the rashis color your world, and the grahas trigger your deepest karmic lessons, what will you do with the free will above your horizon? Are you just going to gather the fruit of the past, or will you use your actions to shape eternity? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.